All right. I also thought I was done for the day until I came across this video because we need to talk about something. And this Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ghana, he needs to answer some questions in his application. He's taking South Africa to court. And this is what he says, or how he's going to take us to court. Check out this video.
The government of Ghana has decided that we are not going to sit back without any effort in attempting to secure compensation for those of you who have lost your properties, lost your assets, lost your businesses, your shops, and what have you. So we are putting together legal processes that we will activate to ensure that those properties you invested in, and some of you, your life savings, you have worked for more than 2 decades, 3 decades, to put together businesses that were thriving. We are going to make sure that we go all out to obtain compensation for you. So, as part of the documentation that we are preparing, please make sure that you provide all the information that we require. The forms we are circulating, you will see that we are asking for what you have left behind, the addresses and the supporting documents. Those of you who own houses, who own schools, who own shops, let us have the documentation that will serve as evidence for the case that we are building. President Mahama has said that he will not abandon you, he will not forsake you. And that is why he instructed me to petition the African Union, and at the next African Union media coordinating meeting, President Mahama is going to make a very strong case for you so that you will be compensated, so that justice will be done in this matter.
Really? Oh, hi, back. So, what is wrong with this picture for you? Or anybody, it doesn't matter, even you Ghanaians who are watching this video because you are ready to attack. You want to attack, but I'm going to tell you something. South Africa is not a banana republic. And two, because South Africa is not a banana republic, we have the rule of law. And one of the branches of our law is immigration laws. And our immigration laws has provisions in our immigration laws. And part of those provisions are that if you are a non-South African and you are interested in investing or starting a business, you need to have a certain amount of money to invest into the South African economy. And the immigration law is quite specific how much that money is. That's 5 million rand. I'm going to put it in Ghana CD on the screen so that you understand how much these Ghanaians that your Minister of Foreign Affairs, the liar, is, I don't know what he's trying to do. So he says that he's going to take South Africa to court for losses of the repatriatees or returnees to Ghana. And in his application, he better make sure that number one, when the Ghanaians that he repatriated back to Ghana, when they came to South Africa, they came to South Africa under what circumstances? Meaning, did they come to South Africa as visitors? Did they come to South Africa as investors? Did they come to South Africa with a business idea? And how much exactly did they have in their bank account before we can even talk about the 5 million rand? And fourthly, Where were they going to reside? Did they register these companies of theirs or businesses? Because again, South Africa is not a banana republic. We've got systems in place because those systems are connected to other systems connected to other systems, and especially where money is involved, so that South Africa does not find itself once again in the grey list. Mr. Ablakwa will know what a grey list is. Ask him. And two, financial intelligence. We call it FICA here, Financial Intelligence Center Agency. It detects where the money that comes from outside of South Africa, some even inside South Africa, its roots. So if you're going to have a Ghanaian coming to South Africa to open a business and they produce 5 million rand, first of all, where did you get the money from? So that means we have to go back to Ghana and find out in Ghana where you a businessman, businesswoman, and you were generating profit, and that profit said, let's upscale and branch out and have a South African branch of this business. And so because South Africa's immigration laws requires me to apply for a business visa, not a visitor's visa. And while in Ghana, because they intend to open businesses in South Africa, they apply for a business visa, and then all the requirements they have to be fulfilled while still in Ghana. And then South Africa, which is now the Department of Home Affairs that executes our immigration laws, will look at everything that is required in order to get a business visa. And indeed, that 5 million rand investment into South African economy is also there with a proof of payment that it was paid into, let's say, CIPRO, right? That means this is a regulatory body where you register a company. And then you get a registration number. And on top of that, while you're still in Ghana, all of this is happening before you even set foot here. And then on top of that, you get a tax number. And out of that tax number, you have to get tax clearance. Meaning that you are not owing South Africa any taxes as a Ghanaian. And if all of these things have been collected, put together, including a criminal record in Ghana, are you not a criminal back in Ghana? So if these people can provide all of that, surely they are going to win the case for compensation, because I think we are getting sued for compensation. Now, let's go to the visitor's visa aspect of it, because most of these people came to South Africa with a visitor's visa. I doubt there is actually a Ghanaian, unless this Ghanaian is a serious business person that understands the immigration laws, followed the requirements, and was accepted. Not denied, was accepted, and has businesses here and paying taxes to the country. I don't think they are a handful. I don't think they are a handful, because many Ghanaians, when they come to South Africa, they come here to open churches. They don't come here to invest. And churches in South Africa, from what I understand, they don't pay taxes. That is why your pastors, they come to your country driving in Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and fly private jets from monies that they collect as tithes here in South Africa. They don't invest. There's no Ghanaian company on our stock exchange in South Africa. None. And you can prove me wrong if you have the information. As a visitor's visa, that means South Africa, you can enter visa free and you get 90 days, because that's the relationship we have with Ghana. And you have 90 days in South Africa as a visitor. Now, at what point do you decide that on a visitor's visa, I'm going to open a business? I'm going to buy immovable property. I'm going to have children. Open a school? As a Ghanaian, you open a school when your education system ranked number 13 on the African continent, and South Africa number 3. That part made me laugh. That part was so hilarious. US Ghana ranking not even in the top 10. You are beaten by Eswatini. You are beaten by Lesotho, Namibia. You are nowhere featured in the top 10 as best education systems on the continent. And y'all open schools here on a visitor's visa? And on top of that, do you think our Department of Education is just going to say, oh yeah, please have a school in South Africa as a visiting Ghanaian? That sounds funny, don't you think? But anyways, y'all are hilarious. With a visitor's visa, you open businesses. That means you bypassed. This is the part where you are criminals. You bypass the requirements in the Immigration Act of this country. And I've already told you what's required of you in order to run a business in South Africa, not in a visitor's visa. So your Minister of Foreign Affairs, who's by the way lying to you guys that we are going to take South Africa to court and they need to pay compensation. If you got property, you cannot buy immovable property in South Africa as a visitor. And on top of that, even if you were legally here, you are not here permanently to be buying irremovable properties. On a business visa, you still have to serve your time, maybe like 5 years. And if you are interested in becoming naturalized South African, then yeah, you become eligible. And once you've been accepted as a naturalized South African, that's when you start buying immovable properties. You know why? Because you're permanently here. Kind of makes sense, don't you think? So I don't know how you guys run your country up there in Ghana. Here, we got systems that need to be followed. And your minister, and that is what I'm saying to you, he is lying to those people and together to Ghanaians. And I see Ghanaians are feeling very good about themselves that we are going to take South Africa to court and get compensation for all the losses that those people that were repatriated are going to be paid back on illegality. You got to be kidding me. You guys thrive on illegality. It's quite clear in West Africa, the rule of law does not exist. And I always thought that it was Nigerians that hated the rule of law. But turns out Ghana too. Your leaders are exposing you guys. Your leaders are exposing Ghana that the rule of law does not apply. And because it does not apply in Ghana, they think it doesn't apply elsewhere. Do you see this case? They already lost it at application. No court of law in this country would listen to such crap. It doesn't matter which court you go to. You can go to ICJ for all you want, but ICJ will look at our laws and then look at those Ghanaians that will be registering, filling up that form. Did they follow South African immigration laws for them to open businesses and buy property in South Africa? And if they cannot produce these certificates and all the other stuff that will be required of them, they will not even get a hearing in that international court. Not a single hearing. Not a single hearing. So the second thing that does not look right about this gathering of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Ghana, Mr. Ablakwa, why would business owners be repatriated? How come they don't have money to buy their own tickets back home? Because I can tell you one thing. When a Ghanaian in South Africa starts a business and becomes successful, they fly first class back to Ghana, back and forth to South Africa. Whether they followed the immigration laws, remember I told you that many, and I believe the majority of Ghanaians that are here in South Africa, they are here illegally. And those businesses that they opened and they are thriving in, they did not follow our immigration laws, which also includes the 5 million rand investment into the South African economy. They did not do that. They are successful, but they are still able to fly back and forth between South Africa and Ghana. And we deliberately look the other way because, like I said, we've always loved Ghanaians until you guys showed us your true colors. And you continue to showing us your true colors. As a Ghanaian listening to this video, you've got to admit that your government is bought. Your government was given brown envelope to target South Africa. And we know why we are being targeted, by the way. If you don't know, do some little bit of digging. Is not real, is on our neck, and things that Ghana, when they look at the African continent, which powerful African countries apart from South Africa that we can use to destroy South Africa? And it so happens that Ghana was the chosen one. There are consequences for that. Oh, there are consequences for that. It's not to your best interest, Ghanaians. I'm telling you right now. Mark this video. Mark this video. One day you guys will be crying to South Africa. One day. Yeah, you're going to laugh and mock me and say everything you want to say. I will also mark your comments and I will throw them at your face. You need to get rid of this government. And it's quite funny how you brought a man that failed you in the first place and you voted, I think it was, I forgot what his name was, the previous president. And then you were like, Myanmar he did not beat us enough. He did not abuse us enough. He did not cause us enough pain. Let's bring him back. That goes to show something isn't ticking up here. When you had an opportunity to test somebody else and see if they had a better strategy for Ghana to thrive. Instead, under Myanmar, Ghanaians still came to South Africa for greener pastures. Ask yourself why. So, hey, you have the right to approach our courts. That's our law. And you have a right to produce evidence to all the stuff that your Minister of Foreign Affairs was talking about. And good luck with that. But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to win a case based on people that built lives on a visitor's visa. And on top of that, they still overstayed their welcome. No court in this country will defy its own immigration law. None. No court in this country will listen to such crap. Because it is crap. I'm sorry to tell you. And those people, they better produce those documents. All the documents that are relevant to win this case of compensation or a lawsuit, whatever it is that you call it. I think Ghana needs to sit down and have an introspection. Hey, there are Ghanaians that I still love. And they do agree with me with everything that I say, both in South Africa and in Ghana. You who is emotional because you are used to anarchy, you are used to lack of accountability and responsibility, you are the one that is going to attack me. And go ahead, by the way, you just keep exposing yourselves as a nation. Because you elected these leaders. The leaders that you elect, they reflect you. So it will not be a surprise. Anyways, I thought, hey, let's close this Sunday with this video. Because I was minding my own business after the last one with Ronald Lamula. And then, boom, comes the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Ghana. And I was like, sir, South Africa is not a banana republic. We got the rule of law here. And you're going to have to exploit the rule of law of South Africa to win the case that you are going to be lodging. And we look forward to it. Bring it on. See you guys later. Goodbye.